Hola, buenas tardes. I am Mariana Tackett and I am your student Spanish teacher. I am so sorry I will not be able to be here today. I had a family vacation planned since April before I knew I was going to take the job. So I've created this video to kind of hopefully help a little bit understand what we will be doing in Spanish class and who I am. So like I said, my name is Mariana Tackett. Senora Tackett is how the kids know me. It is my first year at Meyzeek. It is my 7th year teaching. I graduated from the University of Louisville here, and I started my teaching career at Highland Middle School. Taught there for 3 years before transferring to Ballard High School, where I taught for a year and a half before finding out my husband was being transferred to St. Louis. So we found out at the beginning of the school year, and I worked until December, and then I moved to St. Louis to join him. So I worked there at a middle school, North Kirkwood Middle School, for a year. We had a baby boy and then decided that Louisville was home. We wanted to be home close to friends and our family, and we decided to move back just this past June. So I was super excited when I got the opportunity to come interview at Meyzeek. Meyzeek is not a strange place to me. I actually did part of my student teaching, my middle school portion of student teaching here at Meyzeek when I was at Louisville. So it's kind of neat to be back in the building, and I have an understanding of how Spanish works here. I am teaching this year Spanish 1, which would be my 6th graders, and my 8th graders, and then Spanish 2, which would be my 7th graders. So I know they're going to show this video throughout all my classes, so I'm going to try to talk about the differences. Spanish 1 is very much so an introduction to the language, so I have students who have taken it before in elementary and students who haven't. We're essentially starting from the beginning, we're covering all the basics, and it's a very fast pace, so the students do cover a lot, and we will go all the way up to chapter 5B. So we try to take a unit per 6 weeks depending on how much material there is to cover in there. Spanish 2 is a continuation of Spanish 1. We've been working on a little bit of review. There's some things that we need to cover, and I had the students do a reflection on what they needed to go over before moving on, which was very important, and I think they're benefiting from the review. We will start our actual new material with my 7th graders probably in a week and a half, 2 weeks. We'll kick off with our new unit, and they've been doing great, so I've had a great experience with my 7th graders. My 6th graders, my Spanish 1, my 6th grade parents, we're starting from the very beginning, the Para Empezar unit. So we looked at the new vocabulary. The students copied down their new vocab, which they should be studying every night for 10 to 15 minutes. We talked about Quizlet, a great app to use to study vocab. And we talked about making old school flashcards and all the different methods we can use when practicing our vocabulary. Same with my 7th graders. This is for all my students. My 8th grade parents, so this course is new this year if they're trying it out. So they designed an 8th grade class. It's a level 1 class. So these are students who did not get the opportunity or maybe weren't able to fit it in their schedule to take it as 6th graders. So it's kind of like a little prep, a little course to get them feeling a little more comfortable for Spanish in high school. It's only a semester long class, so they're only in here for a semester, and it's pretty fast paced because we do want to cover a lot of Spanish 1 to kind of give them a good grasp of what they're going to be doing in high school. So that's a little bit about the descriptions of my classes. My expectations are pretty clear. Participation is a big thing in Spanish class. I always tend to have kids who don't feel comfortable speaking and they refuse to really speak, and that's difficult to get a really good grade when the class is about speaking. It's about using the language, being able to communicate in it in Spanish. And so participating is a huge, huge portion of the class that we need to do. Being on time, being honest in your work, homework. They will not have a physical sheet of paper to do every night for homework. They won't. They should be looking at their vocabulary every single night, definitely. Materials needed, and this goes for all my classes except for my 8th grade class. It's a little different only because it's a semester long class. So with my 8th grade class, I just require like a notebook or a binder, a folder, something where they're just putting their Spanish stuff in. For my 6th graders and my 7th graders, I do require a little bit more because it's a year-long class and it's a pretty intense class. We cover a lot of material. A 1-inch binder, and the kids know it was actually due last week, but I know I have always have some stragglers, so it's good to kind of let the parents know. A 1-inch binder, just for Spanish. I don't care if it's the hard or the floppy. 5 subject tab dividers. I kind of force my kids to really be organized. I know some students are naturally more organized than others, but I find that this really helps the kids know where everything is at. So 5 subject tab dividers, paper to put in their binder, or if they have a notebook already, they can just stick that in their binder for notes, and then a pen or a pencil. They should always have a pen or a pencil in class. So pretty simple. My grading system, so it's the same all around JCPS. It doesn't really matter what class it is. So it's divided between student engagement, which is participation, group work, student reflection, that's 20%. Student progress would be quizzes, self-assessments, that's 30%, and then student mastery, which is our proficiency assessment test, performance assessments. And when I say performance assessments, that does include a lot of the speaking, and that is 50% of the overall grade. I'm actually running through the syllabus. I meant to say at the beginning, I have made enough copies for each parent to have. They should be sitting on a table somewhere in this classroom, but I have them here. So if you can grab a syllabus, maybe not right now, but at the end, just so you know, and have you and your child sign this. Class rules, being respectful is my #1 rule. Everything else tends to fall under that. Being responsible of your actions, um, being able to own up and say, I'm sorry, um, I'm sorry, Senora Tackett, I'll do it differently next time. I hate giving consequences, but it always happens. So verbal warning will be the first one. A tab out, so that's sending your student to another classroom to kind of reflect on what they did and how they can do it differently next time. And then obviously there are more severe consequences if the actions continue or something severe is done in class, administrators are called. That's pretty much when it comes to my syllabus. Again, I'm so sorry I wasn't able to physically be here. I know open house is coming up in October. I finally got my JCPS email last Friday, so my email is up to date on my syllabus, and you can email me whenever you want or call. I love to have open communication with my parents and really get to know you guys too. So please feel free to call or reach out. And I look forward to meeting some of you guys at open house. Thank you so much. Have a great night.